Hey, it's Deagle Beagle. So, here's a Pokemon that isn't covered that much. It's really underrated, actually. I don't think it's top tier because it does require setup and probably rain support if you're going to do something like this. And even if you successfully get the revival blessings, you it may not really help you that much because you have to use a whole turn. And usually, if a Pokemon has like 50% left, then it's not um, that good as if it was full HP. Especially if it was like a Sash Pokemon or whatever. And I believe once you Revival Blessing a Pokemon, I don't think that it brings them back in their Terrastall form. Maybe that could be an advantage. I believe I could be wrong, but from my memory, I don't remember it ever working to revive a Pokemon that Terrastalled to make it have the same typing as its Terrastall typing. I think it resets it back to what it was before that. Um, Now these moves could be changed. Um, but before I go over that, I want to go over why you use telepathy really quick. If you don't use moves that hit your ally like Earthquake or Surf or whatever, then maybe don't use telepathy. Use Synchronize. But I would probably use telepathy because to use Rabsca, you probably would want Pelipper anyways. And actually, the most underrated move with Pelipper is Surf. Not just with telepathy, but in general. Even if you have a Pokemon, an ally that's weak to water, and you don't want to surf it, you can still protect and surf that turn. That's what people don't get. And surf hits two enemies, not just one. So it does a lot of net damage, more than Hydro Pump would do. So I usually use if I use Pelipper with surf, I'm probably using it on a team where I got a lot of it's like a bulky team with light screen and a lot of like a rain team with a lot of water resistant allies anyways, so I can just surf and it's not a huge deal normally, and if I need to protect from it I can. Um, or use another move like Hurricane. So here's why there's Leppa Berry, because it doesn't restore 10 PP to it. What it does is it lets you use Revival Blessing twice. So Revival Blessing only has 1 PP. You use it, and then you get your Leppa Berry activated, and then you can use it again the following turn. So I don't think it gets recycle. No, I think they deleted that move. I don't think any Pokemon. Well, actually, maybe there is one Pokemon that gets it. Yeah, there's a couple Pokemon that get it, but not Rabsca. Anyways, you don't need more than 2 Revival Blessings anyways in a game. You're like never gonna get that. Instead of Bug Buzz, you could use. I think it learned Struggle Bug. You could do that to help with your bulk. And I like Recover with it to keep it alive, and it works. I guess you could Revival Blessing if they protect or whatever, but sometimes you have like all your allies alive and you can't Revival Blessing, and maybe Trick Room's already set up. So Recover might be good in some instances to get your HP back, and then you are able to Revival Blessing again. You could use Struggle Bug. I don't know why I didn't think of that at first. I was using Bug Buzz. I think either one would be good. If you don't want to use Recover, use either Psychic or Extrasensory. Psychic probably is better, but if you really are into hexing them. Oh, it's only 10%? When was it 10% to make them flinch? What? I thought it was like 20 or 30. Let's look that up. Okay, don't use Why would they make it have no niche? Like Extrasensory has like no niche if it's only a 10% chance, because Psychic has a 10% chance of a secondary effect to lower their special defense, and that would be probably barely worse normally than a flinch. It might even be better in some instances. Okay, so Extrasensory. I know certain moves like Waterfall, for some reason, I don't know why all flinch moves aren't 30% flinch rate. Like Waterfall is 20%. Um, huh. It was always 10%. double damage if they used minimize. Oh, that's only in Generation 3. I never even knew that. Why would they nerf? Why would I? What I don't get is why they nerfed it in two different ways. Actually, they nerfed it three times, four times, because it used to do double damage if they had minimize. It used to have more PP. They reduced the PP again, and they lowered the power. Wait, oh no, this is just for Legends Arceus. Let me double check it. It's just okay. So it lowers your speed. I don't know why they would. I don't know what action speed is. That's not something to do with VGC. So forget the Legends Arceus part. But anyways, just use like I would probably use Recover and Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug is probably better than Bug Buzz because your primary reason for using Rabsca is to keep it alive so it can just spam Revival Blessing. But if you want to use it more as like both a Trick Room attacker and a Revival Blessing guy in Trick Room maybe, Trick Room only if you need to use it, of course, then I guess you could go with Bug Buzz. I think Bug's a really good offensive typing. Like that's why Volcarona is so good, is because Bug is just amazing as an offensive typing. There's so many Pokemon weak to it. There's Tyranitar, there's indeed all these psychic Pokemon, dark Pokemon. What else? I don't know. Those Pokemon are just really common and like high tier, top tier, like Ferrig and stuff. So Trick Room setters and other things you can super effect with it, or Hydreigon. Even though it might just Terra stall to survive, but at least you put the pressure on him. And I prefer Rabsca over Pawmot. I'll tell you why. Because Pawmot, by the way, when I said Pelipper, it's not just surf with telepathy. It's for its water, for the rain. Because this thing is weak to fire. That's probably its most common weakness. Believe it or not, is fire. So I used to use Occa Berry with it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I can just use Pelipper with it. And you could even use Wide Guard to support it and just keep spamming Revival Blessing. Even though, like I said, that may not give you a huge advantage. But if you're using, it might. I mean, if you really need that Pokemon again, or you have like a dual screen type of bulky team, and you're just trying to stall as much as you can and inch every advantage out of like each turn. But this thing, Pawmot, is just worse because look at Double Shot. You can only use it one time, and then it makes it typeless, and then you can't ever use Double Shock again. I wish they would make it maybe less power, but you could use it more than once. Because it's like, you can't, it makes probably no sense to use Terra Electric with it, because you can only Double Shock one time. Like, what else are you going to use? Thunder Punch? Wild Charge? No, you're not going to use Wild Charge because you need Sash with this thing. This thing dies way too easily. You need probably Revival Blast. You probably need to use Double Shock, even though it's like a one-time hit. Unless, I think if you hit an immunity, then you can use it again. But I mean, like, that doesn't count as it kind of being used, just the PP being used. So you would probably just want to use the standard Jolly, whatever set, and just do that. And it would outspeed Garchomp and whatnot, even though that wouldn't matter that much because it can't do much to it. We can outspeed Hydreigon. It is a really fast fake outer. I'll give it that. That's why I like using it. And you can sometimes Revival Blessing with really high speed and I'll make it fighting. You can Revival Blessing and it can really help your team sometimes. But normally I would say this Pokemon's worse. Well, it depends. This Pokemon doesn't need as much support from your team as Rabsca. Rabsca probably would want Pelipper to be useful, but if you do have Pelipper, it's probably higher tier than just Pawmot on its own for sure. A lot better because you're really good at using Revival Blessing if you do that. Okay, thanks for watching.